one day somebody does something unspeakable to someone else, to someone you hardly knew, and you do something about it because you can.
This story is brought to us from your favorite Fox News, your favorite. A convicted Oregon killer is back on Salem, Oregon's police oversight board following a narrow city council vote that opponents say jeopardizes public trust and ignores warnings from law enforcement about his violent past. The Salem City Council voted 5-4 on December 8th to reappoint 47-year-old Kyle Hedquist, who served 27 years in prison for the execution-style murder of a 19-year-old woman, to the city's Community Police Review Board. The move overrides a formal recommendation from the city's appointments committee to leave the seat vacant and has reignited criticism from law enforcement officials who condemned his early release as shocking and irresponsible. The reappointment comes after city officials discovered that background checks were not conducted for previous board appointments, raising new questions about how Hedquist's criminal history was evaluated. Now, on December 3rd, the city's Boards and Commissions Appointments Committee voted not to reappoint Hedquist, citing Salem's requirement that criminal history be considered in appointment decisions. Committee members Mayor Julie Hoy and councilors Shane Matthews and Deanna Gwynn argued that bypassing those standards risks creating a precedent for future board selections. Councilor Paul Teagan also opposed the appointment. Matthews, who made the initial motion against returning Hedquist to the board, said the council should not override established vetting procedures. Despite the committee's recommendation, Councilor Mai Vang introduced an amendment to reappoint Hedquist. Vang said she asked the council to pull the appointment from the consent agenda because she questioned how the decision had been made to exclude him. Interesting. Vang defended Hedquist's prior year of service, saying he has fulfilled his duties without issue and offers a perspective not represented elsewhere on the board. She said, Kyle brings a perspective that most of us don't have, she wrote in an official Facebook post. She said, as someone who's been through the criminal justice system, he understands community safety from a different angle. He's one voice among nine. He's not running the show, but his experience matters. Yeah, he's been through the criminal justice system. Come on, a convicted murderer. We need him on the police oversight board. Addressing concerns about a twice yearly police ride-along requirement for board members, Vang noted the city manager can waive that rule, and Hedquist is already ineligible due to his felony conviction. So you can't do those anyway. Said, I believe people can change. That's what Vang said. She went on, Kyle's recent work shows he's genuine about turning his life around and using his experience to help others. And honestly, if any of us needed a second chance, we'd want the same consideration. Do you guys believe in second chances? Hedquist was convicted of aggravated murder for killing 19-year-old Nikki Thrasher in 1995. Prosecutors said he feared Thrasher would report him for hiding stolen property, so he shot her in the head and dumped her body along a remote logging road. He was 18 years old at the time. Former Oregon Governor Kate Brown granted clemency in 2022, making him eligible for release. Douglas County Sheriff John Hanlon issued a harsh statement in 2022 condemning Brown's decision to release Hedquist. He said, I am absolutely opposed to the governor granting executive clemency to Kyle Hedquist. Hanlon wrote, calling the murder calculated, cold-blooded execution style. Under his own admission, Hedquist said he killed Miss Thrasher to eliminate the possibility of her turning him into the police. The executive clemency granted by Governor Brown in this case is shocking and irresponsible, said the sheriff. Now, Hanlon said Brown ignored opposition from multiple law enforcement leaders, including Douglas County District Attorney Richard Weisenberg, Marion County District Attorney Paige Clarkson, and Marion County Sheriff Joe Cast said the decision, he said, rejects and diminishes the justice delivered in the name of Miss Thrasher, her family, and friends. Concerns from law enforcement resurfaced during the Salem Council's debate, with critics arguing that Hedquist should not hold an oversight role involving police accountability. Councilor Shane Matthews, who opposed Hedquist's reappointment, issued a strongly worded statement expressing concern for public safety, victims' families, and the credibility of the Police Review Board itself. Said, selecting a man convicted of premeditated murder of a foster girl to a board leadership position that oversees sworn police officers doesn't serve the interest of public safety, and it threatens the legitimacy of the board altogether. Matthews wrote in a statement to Fox News Digital. Now, he said, with this particular board, the council is supposed to evaluate an applicant's criminal record when making the decision. If one of the most egregious acts of aggravated homicide doesn't disqualify someone from being in this role, what does? Matthews said he supports second chances in general, but argued that positions overseeing public safety demand higher standards. And it goes down from there. Oh, yeah, it's quite lengthy. It's really long. You could read it if you click the link in the description box. But the gist is, here's this guy who at 18 years old committed one of the most egregious acts of homicide, execution style. And now 27 years later, he's granted clemency by the governor. And now here 3 years later, he's on this board that oversees police accountability. I mean, I don't know. It's a little questionable. What do you think? Do you guys believe in second chances? And do you believe that, you know what? Forgive and forget. Let him do this. Like Vang said, well, he knows the criminal justice system. He sure does. 27 years of it. What do you guys think? And would you let this guy on the board, or would you say, buddy, kick rocks?